Max, let's wrap it all up, put it in a nice little bow with a nice college football power poll.
Boy, nothing will make people angrier at you than this.
The power poll is where we rank the 12 FBS teams in the Lone Star State measured against the overall strength of their conference. I'm going to underline that again. Measured against the overall strength of their conference.
People don't care. People still think you're crazy for putting Houston and North Texas and UTSA as high as you do.
Yeah, well, continue to be mad. That's
all right.
fine. You can just keep being
I'm mad at you, too. I think you're an idiot.
well, yeah, but you always think I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
Let's start with number 12, the UTEP Miners.
Yeah.
I mean, one step forward, two steps back, right? I mean,
last week was encouraging. This week was exactly what you expect.
Was discouraging. And I will tell you that it was back to the look, there has been for as up and down as they've been, basically down, and then like a slight up against Western Kentucky. But the thing that's been the same for them is that offense just stinks.
There's nothing there.
There's just nothing offensively. They get shut out again. I want to look at this. I did not look this up, so let me stay tuned. I'm guessing, they're dead last in total offense. I was going to guess, but I didn't want to speak out of turn.
Pretty easy.
219 yards per game. 219
terrible.
yards. Okay?
So bad.
To put that in perspective, the number one team in total offense is Oklahoma State at 610.
Almost 3 times that, almost.
Right. UTEP was terrible. They were balancing between quarterbacks. I think Zach Greenlee got hurt, so they bring in Ryan Metz, and he wasn't good. He had a quarterback rating of 6 or 5.9. They ran the ball for 17 yards. 17 yards.
The running football team ran the ball
I will
for
tell you,
17 yards.
I think the defense is actually okay.
Yeah?
The defense, I don't think the defense is a Charlie Foxtrot.
No?
But I think it doesn't matter because the offense stinks.
No.
And so I mean, Ito Smith, the running back for Southern Miss, who has personally victimized the state of Texas, ran for 120 yards and 2 touchdowns, and that was it. And Southern Miss wins 24-0. And look, it's not going to get any better. It's a lost season for UTEP, and it's now up to somebody to make a hire.
Yeah, one win will be a miracle.
Number 11, Texas State. I watched most of this game.
Watch most of this. That's right.
On Saturday or on Thursday night, and there are pieces. Okay, the thing I can say about Texas State is that there are pieces. I think they found something in Willie Jones. I think they just need to commit to him and say, "You're the quarterback now. You are the captain." Willie Jones. I think he's got something.
He can do some special things.
He can do some
I think
special
we learned
things.
that much.
I think their linebacker Brian London's a playmaker. I think that they've got some playmakers. They've got some guys that you can build around. But the bottom line of it right now is that this team is mostly comprised of guys who are either too young to be reliable or not FBS players.
Yeah.
That's what this roster is presently comprised of for the most part. There are obviously exceptions. But the bottom line of it is that this team is not ready to compete. It's not ready to contend. Louisiana Lafayette, apparently they like to be known as Louisiana. Louisiana Lafayette is not some sort of like world beater. They're not that good, but they had their way with Texas State. And it's just going to be like that, and you just feel like maybe Everett Withers just needs a little bit more time, but they got to start moving forward because this feels like a step back from last year. Number 10, the Rice Owls, and they were on a bye.
I remain that this is generous.
Yeah.
You are being generous by putting them 10th. I think they're the worst team. That's amazing.
They have a win over an FBS team.
Yep. No, I get it.
They have a win over an FBS team.
Who also is on this poll.
Texas State does not. UTEP does not. So they had to stay ahead.
Fair enough.
They're on a bye, so they defeated bye. Congratulations to Rice. Yeah. Number 9, Baylor. Look, nobody expected them to go to Stillwater and win.
Nope.
But I will tell you that felt ugly. That was not good. The offense, when they turned the ball over, this felt like a pretty substantial step back for Zach Smith.
I think they need teams that want to go like drive for drive against each other, not teams like Oklahoma State, Texas Tech, who are just looking to pile up points. Because I just think they're going to lose bad to all those teams.
I mean, the Baylor defense just isn't very good. And Oklahoma State will take advantage of that. You know what I mean? This felt like a step back. Like, whereas all the momentum they'd built up before the bye week, every game had been a little bit better. They were in contention against Duke. They were in contention, against Oklahoma.
Right.
They were kind of moving forward. Maybe they can put together. This felt like a step back.
Yeah.
So Baylor's at number 9 in the power poll. Number 8, SMU. Week off. Not a whole lot to say.
Cincinnati road trip this week.
Cincinnati? Is that it? All right. Go get a win, Mustangs.
Yeah,
You need it. Number 7, UTSA. A lot of the focus of the North Texas UTSA game is going to be on North Texas, but I do want to bring up that there was another team in this game.
Well, really, this was a prove-it game for both teams, right? I mean, we went into it excited about it because the winning team emerges as that division's favorite.
Right. We pretty clearly overcooked it on UTSA.
Yeah, they got some issues.
We got really excited about that win over Baylor. Which is looking worse and worse. We got really excited about that. And this is not me saying that I don't think UTSA is any good. I think
obviously a very good football team.
I think they're about 3rd in that division.
Right.
But the bottom line of it is
7-8 wins still possible.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 7 or 8 wins is definitely still possible. But the bottom line of it is that, like, the offense, the running game is not there in the way that they need it to be.
Right.
And Dalton Sturm, while he's solid, is not the kind of guy who can do it by himself.
Yeah.
He can't put put the team on his back.
Yeah.
The defense I thought was okay until that last drive. But overall, they shut down for the most part Jeffrey Wilson, who only went for 83 yards, and 35 of those came on one play. Yeah. So overall, I thought the defense played well, but the offense just wasn't there. And that has been a theme against the last 2 weeks, is that the offense has been okay, but it has to be it can't find that extra gear.
But the easy counter here too is they're 58 seconds away or whatever it was. I mean, it's very and
I don't overreact.
2 kind of miracle plays.
Mm-hmm.
The big chuck down the field that they kind of got lost the ball, and he makes the catch on the sideline, and then the play that Mason Fine makes everything. UTSA did everything right there. They should have won that play, and Mason Fine just made a crazy play.
Yeah, but here's the thing: is that now, like when they were 3-0 on their bye week, we're like, here we go, big year for UTSA. Now they're 0-2 in conference.
Right.
They're 0-2 in conference. They are 2.5 games without the tiebreaker behind the conference, the division leader in North Texas.
Yeah.
So it's just disappointing.
Yeah.
Number 6, Texas. You should feel encouraged by the performance against Oklahoma, but this was a game that was ultimately decided for me in the first quarter when Texas did not get off the bus.
Could not get out. Yeah.
They could not get out of the gates. And if they had just played that to a draw, they win that game.
Yeah.
They really do. That feels like a missed opportunity. And I thought Sam Ehlinger was good. I didn't think he was great. I thought he was good.
It's a true freshman.
He was gutty. The defense, I thought, actually acquitted himself pretty well, except for forgetting the giant dude running down the sideline named Mark Andrews and just like being like, oh, maybe we should cover him. I thought they contained Baker Mayfield relatively well. Look, it's a rivalry game. Weird things happen. In the end, I think the better team won. I think Oklahoma is better than Texas. I don't think that's a real hot take. There are some. For me, I think Tom Herman's going to look back at this as a missed opportunity.
Sure.
That if they hadn't no-showed in the first quarter, they would have had a shot to win that game. Overall, though, I think it's a decent performance for Texas. And now they move on. And who do they get this week? I forgot.
You're asking me, and I can't keep track of all these teams'
I know.
schedules.
I'm sorry, guys. Let me see. Hold on. I'm looking this up. Are they on their bye? They might be. You're listening to the live coverage of me looking up their schedule. They beauty. They get Oklahoma State at home.
Ooh, that'll be fun.
Another top 10 team for Texas.
All right.
So Oklahoma State at home.
Who knows?
Who knows? But I will tell you that I think that this is a nice Rorschach test for what kind of what your ultimate thought on life is.
Sure.
Is that if you look at that Texas thing and you go, all right, that was a pretty good performance. I think you're well within your right. But I think the same person could look at that and be like, that's a missed opportunity. You had a chance to take down a top 12 team,
Yeah.
and you missed it.
Yeah.
So there's that.
And your most hated rival.
For that,
Yeah.
perhaps most importantly, you have to watch Baker Mayfield put on that golden hat. You happy about that?
Ooh.
Number 5, Texas Tech.
The opposite, right?
Gosh, dang it!
They were rip-roaring hot the first
That
2.5 quarters.
They were in complete command of that game.
Like, we were sitting there watching the end of that first half going, dang, Texas Tech. Is this who you are now?
Yeah.
Nope, they're not.
They're not. And there's going to be a lot of people that point to the defense and say that they coughed it up. I would go the exact opposite route. The bottom line of it was, and let me.
If you're boat racing them, keep boat racing them. You're an offense built to boat race.
And the other thing for them is that the longer that Tech defense is on the field, the worse it is for them. Because down the stretch, I want to look at this. Down the stretch, here were their drives in length in the second half. Okay, 236 3 and out. 205 they scored. Okay, 3:15 missed a field goal. 21 seconds punt. 57 seconds punt. 2:20 3 and out. 134 interception game over.
Yeah.
You didn't stay on the field long enough.
Yeah.
You could not sustain a drive. And I understand that this is a big explosive offense, and that's fine. But at some point, you have to be able to sustain drives because because against a team like West Virginia, your defense is getting hung out to dry.
Yeah.
And that's on Nick Shemenek. And I think I've been effusive in my praise of Nick Shemenek.
Yeah.
But he was not sharp down the stretch, and the
first half of that game, he looked like Superman.
He did.
Yeah.
Second half, he looked terrible.
Got to be better.
And they could not run the ball. They could not stay on the field. So as much as we want to blame the Tech defense, and they're not blameless in this, but as much as we want to blame them, I thought they did their part, and then they got hung out to dry with their offense. And that's a super disappointing loss because if you go on the road and beat West Virginia, then you come home and you play Iowa State, and all of a sudden you're looking at 6-1, and you're feeling really good about yourself.
Yeah.
And more importantly, at that point, you're looking at 3-1 in conference. And now you're 1-2, and Iowa State's coming to town, and Iowa State's looking pretty good. Texas Tech's number 5. Number 4, North Texas. The biggest win in Apogee Stadium history. A monumental achievement. The signature win for Seth Luttrell. Everything you want to say about it is in play here. This felt like a game-changing win.
3 big teams they got to beat on their schedule. They've got 2 of them out of the way.
2 of them are out of the way.
Yep.
Exactly right. Now, comes the tough part. Is that now you're the front runner.
Yep.
Okay, now you're the team that's going to have
you're playing
target.
with the house money.
You're playing with house money. That's fine. You got to find a way to sustain this because if you go off and you fart your way down the stretch, nobody's going to remember this win. Instead, they got Florida Atlantic. They should be able to beat them.
They should, but they've had some nice games, so we'll see. And it's a road game, so
Old Dominion and at Louisiana Tech. Okay, the stretch is coming. Down the final 3 games, UTEP, Army, and Rice. You should be able to sweep that.
You should.
That should be a clean sweep. The next 3 games are going to determine North Texas' season.
Yep.
It's great. It's a fantastic win. Go read what I wrote about Mason Fine on TexasFootball.com. Go read about it. It is a monumental, historic win for North Texas.
And I'm excited. This Florida Atlantic game, Lane Kiffin, roll Owls.
Be excited. Go and use it. Use this as a springboard. I'm excited about North Texas. I'll be a lot more excited if they go like 2-1 in these next 3.
Yep.
North Texas number 4. Number 3, Houston.
Too high.
I know, but I didn't want to put them ahead. I didn't want to put North Texas ahead of them.
I get it, but I don't know. Put them behind Tech. I mean, Tech beat them.
Put them 15th. What in the hell was that?
That was a joke. What the hell?
That was
It's one of the worst Tulsa teams we've seen in the last decade.
I mean,
they didn't even show up.
They did not. And the thing is, I understand. Like, for me, you go and you look back at last year's. I know Houston fans are really sour about last year's SMU game. This is worse because that SMU team, I think, had a pulse. This Tulsa team stinks, and they allowed 288 yards on the ground to a Tulsa team, and more importantly, the offense just again it no-showed. Okay, they tried to get that running game going, right? They fed Dylan Burden, they fed Duke Catalan, and it just didn't go anywhere. And then they said, "Hey, Kyle Postma, go win this for us." and he threw 2 picks, 25 of 41. He's not the kind of guy who can go out there and win it for you. You've got to get something going on the ground, and this comes back to the offensive line, which is what we said like week 2. The offensive line just isn't good enough. Now, look, the defense is not blameless in this either. But much like Tech, I think they got hung out to dry by their offense because I want to look at this. Houston actually won the time of possession battle, which is actually rather interesting.
Oh yeah,
but,
because that Tulsa offense is built to score like this.
Right. But the bottom line of it is you give up 416 yards to a Tulsa offense, which is fine. That's about average.
Yeah.
But your offense did not show up.
Nope.
Your offense could not get moving. And when you only average 3 yards a carry against a bad, terrible Tulsa defense,
I mean, the
you reap what you
funniest
sow.
the funniest part about this, SMU's defense just isn't that good. And
No.
look what they did to them last week.
Yeah.
You know, and this week was completely the opposite. I don't get it.
That's as disappointing a Houston game as I've seen in
It wasn't
a
even
long,
close.
long time. It
They
wasn't
got murdered.
No, they got. I mean, now Tulsa pulled away. This game was 10-7 Houston at halftime, and in the second half, they got outscored 38-0. Are you kidding me?
It was.
That is. It's embarrassing, is what it is. It's embarrassing because Tulsa's not good. And I mean, I have a friend who covers Tulsa for the Tulsa World.
Yeah.
Up there.
Yeah.
And she was, I said, this is staggering. And she tweeted back to me. She's like, yeah, it really is. And she knows Tulsa. Houston's
weird.
number 3, luckily. Number 2, Texas A&M.
Can't kill him.
You can't kill them. They are a cockroach, and they are an adorable maroon hullabaloo connect cockroach.
You can't do it.
They're a
gonna
Twinkie.
find a way.
They're a
gonna
Twinkie.
Win 19-17. They're gonna win 3-2. I don't
Find
care. They're just
a way.
gonna find a way. It's not gonna be pretty.
No.
You're not gonna be impressed.
No, you're
It's
going to come
not gonna
away.
give you some
You're going to
great
come
hope
away
for the future.
You're going to come
They're
away
just
being
gonna
like,
win.
This is gross, but they're going to win. That's. I mean, that was as you went to the swamp and you played a team that wins ugly and you beat them ugly. You beat them at their own game.
It's gonna be 27-26 over Mississippi State.
It's every
gonna be
game.
some dumb
Every
score.
game. Every game is going to be gross. And
Yeah.
guess what? They're going to end up like
It's
9-3.
gonna be so weird.
That's exactly what's going to happen. Is they're going to beat LSU? Because look at that schedule now.
I know.
The SEC stinks.
Hey,
You're telling me
LSU
this? You're telling me
LSU
this
beat
team can't
Auburn.
win 9 games? Tell me this team can't win 9 games?
I think they're gonna win 8, which is hilarious. The way that they started. I mean,
I
and
know.
the way that
Who would've
you
thought?
listen to Aggie fans talk about the way the program is right now.
Yep.
Man, they just find a way.
Exactly. And number 1, the lone hope, the TCU Horned Frogs.
Oh, Horned Frogs, please, 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 please.
Look, man.
Please.
I think it's a really good team.
They're good.
I think it's a really, really good team.
Unfortunately, I think the Big 12 is set up to make everyone lose at least once. They're just
I think
it's too
so.
good.
I
There's
think
too
so.
many good teams.
But right now, TCU is humming. They go to Manhattan, and they beat it in a game that, like,
it had all the pitfalls.
everything.
Huge
Even-
rain delay.
Yes.
Terrible conditions.
Everything was set up for TCU to come out and flop.
Yeah.
And just go, and everything fall apart.
Well,
And they held it together.
Just smothered them.
And it wasn't, look, again, much like, I mean, it's kind of like similar to A&M. It's like, it's not pretty. Like, nothing about them
Yeah.
is like, oh, man. But, like, the defense flies around and hits you. Like, and the running game is okay, and Kenny Hill is solid.
Yep.
And this team's just pretty darn good. I don't think they're the best team in the conference. I don't. But right now,
They're in the driver's seat.
they're in the driver's seat, and they're cruising. They're looking very good
Actually,
right now.
and the thing is, after watching the last 2 Oklahoma games, I think they might beat Oklahoma. I'm worried that they're going to lose to someone else.
Well, where is that game in Norman, or is it in Fort Worth?
I can't remember. Let's look at the TCU schedule here
I got
since
it.
we're closing out the show.
I got it. They're in Norman.
They're in Norman.
That's tough. They're in Norman, and you know
It's tough,
what?
But you know what? The last time they nearly won there with like their 3rd backup. So
Here's the thing: they're in Norman, and then the week after that, they're at Tech. And you want to talk about like
Those are the
2 games
two,
that are going
right?
to give you pitfalls?
well, and the thing is, Texas could beat them. Texas is one of the. Like, here's the thing: they're going to play. Their next 2 are home at Kansas, right? Then they go to Iowa State. That's tough.
Mhm.
Like that's a tough game now.
Mhm.
They host Texas, which is nice. They'll get them at home. But Texas is good enough to screw things up for them.
Mm-hmm. They
So there's-
absolutely are.
It's
They absolutely
that,
are.
It's a Texas-Oklahoma Tech stretch. I think
Mhm.
they'll lose one of those 3.
But Right now, TCU is undoubtedly, in my mind, the best team in Texas.
But I hope they don't.
I hope they
Because
don't.
I want a Big 12 team in the playoff.
That's the power poll. UTEP number 12, Texas State number 11, Rice number 10, Baylor number 9, number 8, SMU number 7, UTSA number 6, Texas number 5, Texas Tech number 4, North Texas number 3, Houston number 2, A&M and number 1, TCU.